Hello. So I haven't said a whole lot this year about the nursery situation, and I haven't really taken it that seriously. And honestly, I wasn't going to do a lot of nursery stuff, and it wound up that I did. So wasn't going to do tomatoes and a few other things, and plans changed. It's been a weird year for everybody, and started a bunch of stuff that I wasn't going to start. So I'm using a bunch of things as far as planters and soil and everything else that I normally wouldn't use, and everything's a lot later than it usually is. So let me show you what's up. So this is where I got the nursery. I built this little closed-in place last year, just using a cattle panel just to keep the chickens out. So let's just take a look at what I've got. Obviously I've got the greenhouse, but these are beds that I would usually have some kind of plants in that I'm just using as a nursery for a lot of different things. And you can see there's no tags in here, but there's all sorts of different things: basil, tomatoes, dill, more tomatoes. And I didn't have enough tags. Again, all this was kind of impromptu, so I just made a quick little key, and I'll put up on the screen what all I planted. But yeah, so it was warm enough and it was late enough starting that I just sowed all of these things in these beds. So there's like 10 different varieties between those two. And I did have a few things that I started in the greenhouse. And if you watched before, basically what I like to do is take a lot of seeds of one variety, put them in a cup and have bunches of plants, and then peel them out and put them back into smaller planters or packs. Pull up some of these black cherry tomatoes. These got pretty big, but they'll still transplant really well. I got some yesterday. Look at the roots on them guys. But these really are awesome plant, and all I can smell is basil right now. And this system actually works pretty well. This stuff was really wilted down the first day that I put it in here. It looked pretty sad right after you plant them, but they pick back up. And they'll look like this the next day. This is yesterday's. So are these. So they'll be fine. And so I've got some healthy starts of all different things going on. And you might have noticed that you did see one tag that says Goji Black. So I am trying to do some perennials now. These are chives, Chinese garlic chives, and black goji berries. I had the red goji berries also, and something happened and they all died. There's one or two left. I'll probably sow some more and start later, but just a little side project that I've become interested in. But this probably be one of the first times that I've played with perennials from seeds, so we'll see how that turns out. The rest of this is just annuals, and the tomatoes are going to be a main crop, but the rest of this stuff, basils and dill and all of that, are probably just going to be interplanted. So like I said, I wasn't planning on doing that much this year, so I didn't go out and buy the trays and flats that I needed. And that stuff's kind of hard to come by around here. So I wound up having to buy these peat pot things. I had different sizes. You've seen some of them in the greenhouse there. Don't really like these. Just not my thing. I have used them. They do work great if you keep them watered, but they're just not uniform and easy to work with like flats and trays. The soil that I used this year is also different. Now, I have no problem with Happy Frog or any Fox Farm products. I actually really love them. So this is really high quality stuff, and it's pretty expensive. So I typically wouldn't use this for transplants, but that's what I'm using this year. That's what they had, and there's a lot in here. It'll last me a long time, and yeah, I paid more for it, but it is good stuff. So, and another couple quick notes before I get out of here. So these are my onion beds. I just buy the little bulbs, the sets, and put in here to have fresh onions. But I had tomatoes around here last year. The cages are actually still here. And I have a ton of volunteer cherry tomatoes. So I'll probably be planting some of those out just for fun. So yeah, everything's kind of impromptu, maybe not set up as organized and as fancy as I would normally like it. But your nursery, you know, if you can make it nicer, that's great, but you don't have to have super fancy stuff to pump out a ton of quality plants. And if you're willing to wait till later, like I was with some of this, just because of my space and timing on my beds, I'm gonna have to wait later anyway. Something simple like these outside beds here they're doable. It really works well. I've did this for years. Some years I amp it up a lot more so I can get stuff out faster and more of it, or better. But it doesn't have to be fancy. You can pump out a lot in something really simple, and it's not too late this year. You can still throw some seeds in and get some late plants. So hope y'all find that useful, or at least entertaining. Appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be good. Bye.